This is Eyewitness News 5 at noon with Ron Curtis, Liz Ayers, and Stormwatch Weather with Tom Hoff.
This is Ron Curtis's final broadcast for WTVH-5, and for 41 years, Ron has served this station and community. And today he heads for a well-deserved retirement. Special Projects producer Lou Gulino has worked with Ron for nearly 20 years, and recently he sat down with the Dean to look back at a remarkable career.
In the news tonight, Governor Kerry goes to Washington for...
It was the voice.
This is the big night at the Democratic
The look.
Convention.
Ron Curtis, News Center 5.
The presence.
Charlie, before we talk, I just want
For 4 decades, he was in our homes, delivering the good news.
See the full story right here on TV5.
And the bad.
The vehicle has exploded.
But no matter what the news, you knew this no-nonsense newsman would give it to you straight. Ron Curtis had been rehearsing for the role of Central New York's news source since he was a child.
I guess I was about 12 years old, and I decided I would try to be a broadcaster. I wanted to be an announcer. And so every evening when the paper was delivered, I would go to my room, I'd read the paper aloud, and I did that for about 3 years or so. Drove my family crazy, of course.
While still in high school, he landed a job at WFBL Radio. By 1959, Ron moved behind the mic at WHEN Radio and TV. Ron's big break in television was forced upon him when he was selected to be the Atlantic weatherman.
Well, that afternoon, I received a call from the general manager who said, the Atlantic has picked you. And I said, well, I don't want to do it. And he said, do you want a paycheck? And I said, I certainly do. And he said, well, then you will do it. And at the time, Atlantic was the biggest client this station had.
He did it until 1966, when Ron was moved to the position he was born for, the anchor desk. What was first known as the Channel 5 report eventually became News Center 5. And Ron was there leading the way as local news grew and began using new tools to tell the story.
Live, on-the-spot coverage from remote location.
We didn't really know if it was going to work. They wanted to try it out beforehand, and that was one of the few times that I really insisted. I said, let's do it. If it falls apart, who cares? We'll try anyway. And if it works, we're golden. And it did work, and that really changed things.
And change they did. Ron led the way among television anchormen who broadcast major stories away from the studio. He became the calming voice at the time of crises that shook a community.
Throughout the funeral ceremony, hundreds of firemen have been listening, standing at attention.
Taking us live to services for 4 city firefighters killed in the line of duty.
Earlier today, Lee Alexander and several of his
Or inside a conspiracy that sent a former mayor and some of his associates to prison.
Well, the full weight of the crash settled on Syracuse.
Or to a shocked Syracuse University campus after the bombing of Pan Am Flight 103.
There have been many sad moments that I've had to deal with over the years, and we all have. So you do the best you can and hope that the people will accept it. But every now and then, it gets to you.
Ron delivered the bad news with dignity. He covered politics with fairness. And he also had a twinkle in his eye for the fun times. From covering a town crazy with Final Four fever to making friends year after year at the state fair.
What I want to say is we only have about a minute.
We'll spare them that story.
All of you, don't try this at home.
Through it all, Ron delivered the news with professionalism, class, and most importantly, a respect for the audience who tuned in daily. And it's those viewers he'll miss the most.
I think the bottom line is the people. The people, I mean, the viewers, and what they have meant to me through the years. And that's the most lasting memory of all. You know, they've been wonderful.
And for those of us who've worked with Ron over the years, It's been a privilege.